Hey guys, welcome back to RMA Garage. In today's video, we're going to be replacing the chain on my son's 2015 YZ250FX. We are going to be using a chain made by Primary Drive, and it is a gold X-Ring. I bought this from Rocky Mountain ATV, got it on sale, had pretty good reviews, so we're going to give it a try. So guys, this isn't the right master link. I ended up using one that I found in a box just to hold the chain on for pushing it around. We never rode it with this on, but I just wanted to hold the chain on for the meantime. But obviously we don't have to break the chain loose on this one. All we have to do is take the clip off. So the easiest way to do this, as I found, is you use the first pin and then you just grab the front of it and then it pops it right off. All right, so this link is probably going to be pressed on just like all the other ones are. So we're going to have to use a screwdriver to pry that faceplate off. So the best way I found is to use a screwdriver and just to work on each side of it. It doesn't really damage the chain, walks the plate off. So we got the new chain set out here. We're going to put the old one up against it, make sure we got the right amount of links. So we don't have to remove a link. It is the right length. With the master link, we got a packet of lubricant. So what we're going to do first is put the O-rings on the master link and then spread lubricant on the pins. All right, so I always found if you feed the chain from the top, it seems to work a little bit easier. And you got to feed it through the rear chain guide. And we're going to see if this chain, if we're going to need to adjust. Is it going to fit? And it does fit on there. We may have to adjust the tension on the chain, but at least we got it to fit on without having to move anything yet. All right, so now we're going to install the master link. We're going to put a little bit more lubricant on the pins before we push it through. All right, so we got it through. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit more lubricant on the outside. That will lubricate the O-rings. And then we put the plate on. So what we're doing is we're working back and forth. We just need to get it tight enough to get the C-clip on. All right, I think it's on there far enough. We'll check. So the C-clip, you want the rounded part to face, it's going to face counterclockwise because that's how the chain spins. It spins counterclockwise. So you want it to go through the counter shaft with the rounded part facing. All right, so now we got it in. All right, give it a spin, see if we got any binding. All right, so we're giving it a spin, no binding at all. The chain does look a little tight though, so we're gonna check. We might have to loosen it up a little bit. All right, so we're gonna measure the chain to see how much play we have. We don't have enough play, so we're going to have to loosen up the rear end. So we loosened the nut, but we kept it somewhat tight so the wheel doesn't float, but it is able to move forward and backward. So if you guys have never done this, there are tiny little notches on this measuring block here, and then we have a tick mark. What we have to do is we have to slide this, we have to loosen up this nut, back this bolt in equally on both sides. So on this side, we have the notches, and then we have the center mark right there on the swing arm. So we're going to need to loosen this nut on both sides and systematically working these up until we get the right play on the chain. All right, so what you want to do is you want to loosen up each side. What we want to do is we want to push this forward, and what do we have? So on this side, we have roughly the fourth tick in. The fourth hatch in is pretty much what we have on this side. And on this side, we're pretty much the fourth in. So now what we want to do is we want to do the same number of turns on the bolt on either side. Okay, so we'll do one full turn on either side. All right, so let's move it up. And where does that put us? That moved us pretty much in between 3 and 4. And yeah, we're right in between 3 and 4 on this side. So we're 3/4 basically. It'd be 1 3/4, maybe 2 1/2. So that's about 1 3/4. This chain's going to stretch a little bit, so we're going to back that. We're going to back the bolts back out a little bit more. Just do like a quarter turn. That's good. Okay, so Ryan's holding the wheel in with his leg. And we're going to measure this. So we're basically at 3/4 to 2 1/4. So that's 1 1/2 inches. It should be between about 1 1/2 inches and 2 inches. We're going to leave it on the tighter side since this is a new chain, and it'll stretch a little bit, but we'll check it after we ride a few times. All right, so the most important thing here is to make sure that that bolt doesn't rotate when you tighten up the lock nut. You might need another wrench to hold that together. We're going to make that fairly tight. While holding the wheel in with your leg, you want to put some tension on the lock nut, and then we'll torque it down. And that basically holds it in place long enough so we can properly torque down the nut. So we're going to check to make sure, yes, there is no gap between that block, and there's no gap between this block and the end of the bolt. All right, guys, we are finished. We got a chain installed on the 2015 YZ250FX. Appreciate you guys watching. If you like this video, please click the like and subscribe button. Don't forget to click the bell so you won't miss our next episode. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.